G'day guys, welcome here to the first edition of Summer Nights for 2025. It's good to be having Summer Nights back again, and all of you at home, blows me away every time I see how many of you tuning in from many different countries around the world. We're here again, we're here at home in my indoor. The good Dutch weather didn't allow us to be out actually in the sun for Summer Nights, as we usually are, but we're going to weather it here to save us from the rain and the wind. Tonight, you are able to tune in here to a session, a normal session that I would normally go through with the horse here at my stable. I want to first thank Marlon Zonatelli from Zonatelli Stables for allowing us to have this horse, and also Bruno this evening with his horse, being happy to share his journeys. We are here tonight with a professional rider, riding at the highest level with a professional horse. And again, it's wonderful for me to experience professional riders that are, of course, producing a lot of horses and have a lot of years under their belt, still searching for information, wanting to do the best thing by their horse, and also being open enough to want to share it with you guys. So I'm looking forward this evening. This is a horse I've already worked with, so we're going to see if he remembers from his first session a few of the exercises. The start for me was the assessment, finding out how the horse is, what he's good at, what he's not good at, where the insecurities lie. This was a horse with an extreme amount of tension in the body, a lot of contracted patterns, the horse going into tension in a fearful state with some very normal stimuli that we experience in our daily lives in and around the stable. It's a horse with a really sweet character from nature. I explained to Bruno from the beginning, this is a horse that really wants to do the right thing. It's, of course, just not knowing what it is he has to do in certain situations. And the not knowing, of course, makes him nervous. And so it's a horse that then ends up being controlled by his nervous system of survival. Even if you have a sweet horse and an easy horse that, like this one, is easy to put on the truck or the trailer, easy around the stable, easy saddling up. If it's a sensitive modern horse that's made for sport, there also has to be a certain level of fire in the belly, a big engine. And sometimes when the modern horses, are not taught how to manage these things, they can start to get out of control and give the horses a feeling like they are out of control, which of course gives the rider a very big job of trying to control everything. So this evening we're going to go through the steps of where we left off from. So we did a few groundwork exercises, we introduced him to his body, we taught him some tension release points, we introduced him to some tools, so some stimuli, things in the environment that may set his flight-fight reaction off in his body. So we're going to start there, and then we'll chat to Bruno a little bit how he's been doing since the first session, and then we're just going to take it organically through in the direction that the horse allows and try to give as much information as we can to the horse. We try to get Bruno also skilled up and allow him to see the things he needs to do when he goes home. And of course, hopefully we get to show you guys something that you can maybe relate to your own situations or be able to share with others in your stable or horses you may have in the future. So let's get started.
My name is Bruno Martins Costa. This is Vitus. He's an 8-year-old horse that we strongly believe in. We think he has great potential in sport. He's a very, very talented horse, but at the same time very sensitive. He's very scared of other horses, scared of people a little bit, and scared of the rider moving on top. So I've tried many different things, especially things that I've studied on the internet and with various different people, also people from horsemanship. It's helped me a lot. I still think he can improve his state of mind. I think he can still learn how to be aware of his own body himself and aware of what's happening in his mind and be able to deal with it himself instead of me having to deal with it, me having to fix it. I think that's what we're aiming for at TRT, that he learns how to manage his own body and mind himself. So that's what we're hoping for by working with Tristan and the whole team.
So here we are. So he looks actually a little bit more relaxed than the last time.
Yeah, I think.
How's he been doing did you notice any changes or anything that was happening different? Were there some of the things you took from the first session that were useful? What are some of the things you've been doing and what you've experienced?
He's been feeling good. At home, I feel him very consistent. At the show, obviously a little bit more stressed. I did use some of the tools about the pressure points at the show, which right before coming in the ring, so after the tension moments and stressful moments in the warm-up, before going into the ring, just apply a little bit of the pressure points and that I think he understood.
He responded. You already could feel a difference a bit.
He responded very well. So a moment before going in the ring, I felt him relaxed and back into that relaxed state of mind.
And then in the warming up, what's the sort of things that get him nervous mainly?
Everything.
From your feeling, everything.
Everything. No, he's okay. But then if there is the flags, the noise of the flags, that triggers something, and then it becomes a bit of a snowball because he hears the flags, he wants to run away from the flags, and then he bumps into some horse coming in his direction, and then he wants to run away from that horse, and then someone might be jumping at the same time, so that noise bothers him a little bit, and then he wants to run away from that, and then he bumps into a tractor that's coming into the other arena.
Sort of snowballs.
Yeah. So then it becomes a bit of a snowball, and then it's difficult to get him back.
And the noise is like the first thing that sort of gets him a little bit on edge, or is he already when you get up?
It's the noise is one thing, but also everything that comes from above him. So the flags are quite high.
Yeah.
That bothers him. Myself, when I move, when he sees me from the sides, that also bothers him. And one thing might trigger a certain reaction, but and then he might try to run away. Naturally, I move on top, and that triggers something else.
Yeah.
So.
And normally, if he's in a quiet state at home and you're just riding normal, then your movements also are a trigger, or not so much?
Not so much.
Yeah. So it's more that if he's already in a tension state, and then you add.
Yeah. And then it adds up. Everything adds up.
Yeah.
And then it becomes a snowball. The problem just becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. And then I can't get him back to that relaxed state of mind.
Yeah.
At home, if something happens, I can bring him back to the relaxed state. At the show is more difficult because there's a lot happening.
Yeah. And then in the warming up, what action do you take when he gets nervous? Like when you feel it building up and he might jump away or he won't?
I'm very careful where I go, who's coming my direction, who's not coming. I'm very careful and aware of what other people are doing.
To try to look after him in the space that
Yeah. And whenever I feel that he's getting stressed, I stop him. Because...
Just let him stand.
Yeah, I let him stand, and if there's a horse coming his direction, and I'm at the fence, so he's at the fence one side and the horse coming the other way, and he feels a bit squeezed.
Yeah.
That's when I know something might happen. He might react, so I stop him.
Yeah.
And then I kind of let the moment pass. I let the horse pass by him, and then he relaxes again, and I can keep going. Yeah. So I have a feeling like if I ask him to keep going, to keep working, to keep trotting, to keep doing what he's doing, that he's going to panic.
Yeah.
If I just stop him, he gets in tension, obviously, but he just stands there. He stands still, and then he goes again.
Yeah.
So that's the way I found in the warm-up to deal with it.
Yeah.
Somehow you're running away from the problem.
Yeah.
But it's how I found how to deal with it.
Yeah. So in that moment, say, okay, how can we best give him an experience that's not going to put him over the edge? And how is he then when you go in the ring? Is there something you also do before, like from the warm-up to the ring?
Well, I did this past weekend. Just stood still by the in gate, and my groom that was with me helped me to play a little bit with the pressure points in his neck and in between his ears.
And just a little tension release before going in, standing at the gate.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then once he walks in,
Yeah.
inside is his minute or 2 minutes of less stress.
Yeah.
So he knows that in there he's alone.
Yeah.
And he doesn't worry so much about it.
Okay.
He's actually quite relaxed in there.
Yeah.
So
A bit the kind of chaos goes away, and now.
Yeah. That's the good thing in a way.
Yeah.
I know that in there he's going to be okay.
Yeah.
In there is his zone, his comfort zone in a way.
And he knows what to do.
Yeah.
It's like, now we have the job, we're going to
And
jump.
funny enough, when he's jumping in the ring, I might have to jump close to the fence with the flags on top. You feel that he looks at it, but he's okay.
Okay.
Um,
There's a different state in the body because he's confidently doing his job. He's less
yeah,
in a position of vulnerability.
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit the problems I've been running into.
Yeah. How did you come up with the idea? Because of course we had the one session, and then I showed you a little bit the tension release. I'm just curious myself. Now you actually took that skill and then used it right before going in the gate of the warming up. Where did that idea come from?
I think I was desperate in a way.
Just going to try that stuff he was
Just
talking
try
about.
try something to get him a little bit relaxed.
Yeah, but he responded good to it.
Yeah,
okay.
Very good. So that's, I tried. He was very tense, and I stopped him 5 minutes before walking into the ring.
Yeah.
Stopped him by the in gate, and he was tense. I felt him moving around and tense, and I asked my groom, just stay close to him. And then when he got closer to him, he relaxed a little bit. And then every time before I get on, I do it a little bit.
Yeah.
And he relaxes from it. So I know that he reacts in a good way.
Yeah.
So then I thought, maybe he's a bit tense now. My groom is there beside him. I might as well give it a try.
Yeah.
So I helped my groom through it. And it helped.
Thinking, what the hell's Bruno doing now? He wants me to feel the horse before he goes in the ring.
He reacted very well to it. He put his head down.
Yeah.
He started chewing a bit.
Yeah, good.
So that, and then he stood still.
Yeah.
He stopped trying to move around.
Yeah.
He stood still, and
Okay.
that's how he reacted to it. And
Yeah.
so I think it did some good.
Yeah. I just feel him a bit, and then I can see where he's at as far as the level goes. Hey, young man. And then we'll see if we can, what we do when we go further. He's definitely even just a little bit more, like when the first time he came, he was a bit, already sort of looking where the horses are and scanning the area more. Yeah, maybe it's because he's been here now and he knows. But in general, it's a little bit more of a relaxed state, and you can see this has been practiced because it's almost immediate. The one here. So this is good that he starts to focus a little bit right away and getting more, he was a lot more externally distracted, sort of looking outside of his body for the comfort. And now also when we touched the belly and we worked a little bit on the breathing part, he had also less movement in. So it was kind of a bit dull here. There's not really any response. Now there's more of a contraction, which for me means that he can have also the ability to breathe more down through the diaphragm, that he can breathe more down through the midline. And for him, definitely the visual system, that he's not sort of, there's something up there, there's a horse, and then his visual system is feeding him so much information that it becomes this adding of pressure all of the time, bouncing off everything. and just being able to teach him to be able to reset, and we'll try to do this also a little bit later. We talked the first time about this connection between the two eyes, that he goes from the focal vision, the external distraction, to a relaxed peripheral vision, and that we make that connection between the two eyes here. And then once he knows the sensation, we can start to do it from a distance. So if he starts to look up there, we can start to bring the focus of the two eyes here, that he finds center and gets more relaxed. And then what we can do later is we can put that here. So we can make the connection from the eyes by letting him feel the wither here. And now make the connection to the eye, that he starts to relax the eye. And then go away. And then in the end we'll be able to connect that from here. So when you put the hand on the wither, the eye will start to relax. So then in the end you'll be able to do it from this position. And if we go through the tension release points, the awareness work from the eye, and then here, to then the base of the neck. And because he has this shape a little bit, the first part will be here, or the eyes open, top of the neck, base of the neck, a little bit behind the girth, just that he tunes in, and then the belly, that he can become more and more aware of the breathing. And then of course this shape that we have here is a bit from this tension. This is of course also running horse shape. Yeah. In the tension. So then it's just taking really softly the muscle also towards the spine, the top of the SI. And when we start to get that he tunes in a little bit and this part of the body starts to release. Also for him it's important then if we go through a little bit the tail, so that that's also not a trigger. When he feels his tail, we want to feel that it doesn't clamp down on his butt. When we make a little movement left and right, we feel it go in through the body. There's no blockages, no holding. His head starts to move. That vibrational energy is allowed to travel through his body without the tension, and that we start to feel that the tail comes up. So the tail coming up and then the step back. And this also then just changes the reaction here from the body. But this is already much better. And that's kind of the line, the path that we can follow, and definitely you can use that then in all situations. And then when we transfer what we do with the groundwork into the riding, it won't just be the movement of the legs and the patterns from the rein and the meaning of the leg aid, and of course him knowing what to do with the environmental things, movement, touch, sound, approach, the things that are in the flags, in the tractor, in the narrow spaces, all of those things. But that we can also get these tension release points on your aids. Yep. So then in the moment where now you instinctively say, oh, this could get difficult, I just stop and wait. Instead of the waiting, you follow that instinct, but then you can go straight into this from the saddle. So you'll be able to have the connection of the eye. We'll see if it's already installed. Yes. When the eye, good. So then we have this, and then you'll be able to slide the leg back, one leg, so you'll stand still. First the neck, you might feel him relax a little bit, or he might chew a little bit, leg back. Practice feeling this bit. And if you practice that also at home, this connection from the hand, then this connection from the leg, after a while that will become something he's really aware of, and it'll work really quick. You'll be able to say, relax here, breathe, and he like resets. So even if you have a moment where he's a bit nervous from the flags, rather than he has like the pressure gauge goes to 10, and then because it's at 10, he's sensitive to the next thing, it goes to 20. It's more sensitive, so you know, snowballs, you'll be able to reset it. So he gets a little bit of tension, relax, breathe, and then go on again. And then after a while, when you get used to this feeling, you'll be able to do that while you ride. So you feel him, oh, and you just put a hand, a little bit of air goes out of the tire. He breathes in between while cantering.
Just keep always at least below 10.
Yeah.
Like never let it grow more and more and more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you have something you can actually do. And it's not that you have to do something with him, but just be there to say, regulate yourself.
Okay.
Feel what's happening. It's like the cue to say what's going on there is the main guide we try to have. And then we do a little bit this deflection here. I would normally then allow you to go through the tension release points, but they're working so good that I know that you're doing the right thing. Otherwise they wouldn't be that good just from one time before. And if we keep doing them now, then we put him in a coma, and that loses meaning. If he responds to it well and we keep doing it, then it doesn't help him. It's like, what's 1 + 1? Yeah, 2. What's 1 + 1? 2. What's 1 + 1?
I've said it already.
Yeah, maybe it's 7. So the movement of the front leg, really important. So just take him and just go through this repeat of this exercise. So we do base of the hand on the neck and following the spine, and that he starts to have the flexion and direction in the way we're going. Also too, because when you start, this is good, when he goes too low, support a little bit on your left. Yeah. And now see if you can go further. Good, perfect. And relax. And now start to move the feet with the rope to the right. And take a contact so you can feel on the rein where he is. Just walk to your left. Yeah. And you'll feel, yeah, this is a good step. And you feel he gets stuck then in the left front. This is better. This is good. And feel that the left front goes behind and this one across. There's yes, and relax. That's good, perfect. Let him stop. Very good. Same on the other side. And so the natural direction of his body is when he moves, he first goes up and forward, and the neck gets short. And so we want to teach him before he moves that he can make length in the neck and then start to move. So here you're just changing the order of movement. Yeah, good. And as light as pressure as you can, so he feels it comes from him, not from you. You're just there to guide him. Perfect, very good. And now you start to move the front legs this way. And so a horse that just naturally relaxes, follows the legs with the head and the neck, then the horse is easy to ride and you open the rein, he just follows and he stays relaxed. But because he's in this tension movement pattern, yes, good, and relax again. So in the beginning it's a little bit manual, but in the end you'll be able to do this hands free. Yeah, good. And then just feel your breathing on that side. So after movement, he doesn't forget to breathe. Yeah, like this. Good. Yeah. And in the beginning it's shallow, but what's nice is when you do make contact, he really, yes, super. Good, that was good. And if you can start to get them really conscious, you know, in the end you will think breath and he will do it as well. He will become so tuned into that. And then just a little bit on the hip here, that you take the skin a little bit towards the, oh wait, stay there, good. And then a little bit more towards the SI, go there, good. And look at the front, yeah. Perfect, and then release the fingers, and then feel the body. Yeah. So this palpation is also important for us to feel, but also for him to know when he's like this and it's hard, he's also not knowing it. He's like, this is normal to hold myself like this. And when you get this softness, it shows a contrast of like, hang on a minute, shit, I feel like jelly. I'm going to be aware of that and try to let that be the feeling all the time. we go into the forward step. So this groundwork, these first couple of steps that you do here, you can also do like before you get on, and that those steps start to get in the end that you can just go hands free and he gets more and more like this in the shape. And then this feeling you have from the rein is important to be aware of, because this is the step we take when you first get on. So when he gets on, he doesn't step away in this pattern, but he steps away in the new pattern that you've taught him.
I tried doing that. It was okay to get on, but whenever I would open my right hand and then he would see me, he would block also. He would see my hand here opening, and then he'd see me and he would try to run away from it. I tried doing it a little bit on the ground first, that he understands it, but especially everything from the right is a bit scarier for him for some reason.
But we do it a little bit in the halter, and then we do it from the bridle, and then we find out where the insecure bit is, and then we transfer that, just change it before we get there. And then the forward step, so it's important for him that we can first have the thing that he's not running away from the stick, remind him from the stick to
breathe.
Follow the breathing, not to think about running away from the whip. It's something he has to follow. This also here. Oh, hang on a minute.
I've been practicing it.
Well, I installed something there. That bit he knows. So then we have to teach him the opposite of that. Yes, and then here where he gets the hind legs overactive, I just put the whip there to get them relaxed. And then just really feeling that we can connect to the right front leg, and he's able to take the right front leg to the side first, and not that he moves the hind legs first and closes the front. We need him to open the front and be able to relax the hind, because at the moment he closes the front and then the hind leg comes, and already he can be scared from an overactive hind leg, and the hind leg gets active because this part becomes a little bit contracted, a bit stuck. So then I ask the movement from the front leg first, and then I try to quieten the hind leg here. This is a good step. Yes. Good, just feel the same. So all the rope and the whip in the right hand, and left hand is to guide the front. And then connect first your rein to the right front leg, so you feel through your hand that you're going to move the front legs first to the side. Like this. Perfect. And then you stand still, and then the whip on the side, good, and then focus on the two eyes. So try to push him backwards from your hand, that you have the head in front of you. That you see two eyes. Stay still. Ask him to move. Yes, and you get this shape. So this bit has to, Good. Yes, now you feel it through your hand, and then focus on the two eyes. Also this, we get this clarity. So he's not going in when we want him to go around. Same again. Good. Yes. Yes, and let him stop again. That's a good step. Very good. And then you see hind leg, front leg is matching. He starts to feel connected. And when he's not connected, he's like, oh, I go left, or I go right, and then he gets this confusion in the body. And then same the other side. So we see all the signs already in the body of where he could start to get nervous, where the tension can come in. We also know now just from this exercise what his body will do if he has tension from the environment. Very good. And then once he starts to move, try to keep the flow more through the front leg with your right hand, and then relax the right hind with the whip. So putting the whip now on the belly. There. Good. And then feel the flow through your rein when the left front leg stops. Yeah, good. And then the whip on the belly. This step. Yes. 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 Now you get nice diagonal pairs. It's okay. And if he stops, it's okay in the beginning.
Okay.
Because we don't want him to then, because we're teaching him to slow down from the whip, to get the relaxed hind leg, to get more fluent, more soft, so he doesn't get a moment of getting tense. So if he slows down in the beginning, let him slow down. And then eventually you want to be able to, if you feel the outside front leg get stuck, you can bring the whip a little bit to the shoulder, or just through the rein try to help him through that step. One more time the other side. Yeah, and now he moves first with the right front. This is correct. And then, yeah, exactly. Perfect, perfect, good. And let him stop again, yeah. Good. Yeah, and then because this side's easier, we do one more time on this side.
Okay.
And try to do as little as possible. So how he engages himself, yeah. Good. And then rest the whip on the belly. Yeah, good. This step, and let him stop again. Very good. Good. And now try to get that step from the beginning. Try to initiate the rein, feel through the rein, connection to the right, good. And then whip on the belly. Yes. Good. Feel the connection of the right front through the rein. Good. Yes. Perfect. And then relax on the rein. Good. Just rest the whip on the belly to let him think about the breathing. Yeah. Stay there. Till you till you see he starts to press a little against it. Yes. Good. Very good. Sometimes don't think, oh, nothing's happening, we have to do more, or
Just wait.
just wait. He knows the process. He just has to, after the movement, get back to his thoughts, come to the connection of his body again, that when the movement he's getting already outside of his body, this brings him back to connecting with his physiology. How do I feel? Oh, yeah, I have to change this. That's not a good feeling. Yeah?
Okay.
Good. One time on the other side. And then you just try to replicate, let him feel exactly the same as he does on the good side. Yeah, good. Front legs already start to move a bit first. Yes. And then the resting on the belly. Good. Good. Then you try to be hands-free with the right hand. Good. Good. Yes. Exactly. So in the end, you can feel this connection front and back. Yes, good. Good. There he's also tuning in. Good. And take it away again. Yeah. And it's then it's not important that you always get this big, but just that you see one ear, one eye, and then you see a little bit movement in the ribs, a little bit movement in the belly. Good, and then you get the release here now. Good?
Yeah.
We go a little bit with the tools. And the more smooth you can have this connection in the body from between the rein and the leg, the more he connects from the body, from the back end through to the front, and he starts to open the body before he gives energy. And the tension will always come when he either doesn't open the front or he closes the front and then gives energy.
Yeah.
So also in the moment where he has a little tension moment, we can feel that we can take the shoulder a little bit to the outside and let him go into this.
Yeah.
Diagonal pear shape as well will help. So sometimes you might have a moment where he's getting a little bit here, and then you remind him of this pattern that
Opening the front.
gives him connection, and then relaxing. and not the opening of the front in the backwards, but the opening of the front in the forwards.
Yeah.
So it might just be, you hardly have to do anything here, but you might pick up a little bit on inside rein like you do in the halter, and then the leg says find this connection. And then keeping your leg there, like you do with the whip, that he follows and not that he starts to
Run away
from the leg. He has to see your leg as a support and a help, and not in a tension moment that he sees your leg as adding something more to a stress situation. And that he will learn through this exercise. We just go a little bit now into the elements. And so I just test in the beginning, of course, the ground level, there's not as much, but as I start to lift up, last time we had more of a contraction, now we don't have at the shoulder level. But if we were to approach, just the skill of approach, whether it be a horse, whether he's approaching something, we don't want the contraction. So we're just simply looking for the horse to not go into a contraction pattern when something approaches. And so here, when I approach with the bag and he gets even a little bit the tension there, I just bring an awareness to this part of the body. And when he starts to have a good awareness of it, so it's not about rubbing him with the bag until he drops the head or gets relaxed, but reminding him not to get into his head and trying to control the situation, but stay connected with the body and keep your body in the right state that allows you to be relaxed. And if we start to get a little bit of movement, so here, this part, yes, so the reminder, checking in with the body, boy, these things stay relaxed. And then also if we start to move, he moves with the connection, and we let him feel now that this, yes, this pattern is the one he has to look for. So if something happens up here, he has to feel this step, this step. This is what brings you back into a control state, into the relaxed state. So we just sort of simulate what might happen. We do it on the left first because everything on the right is a bit more difficult for him. So we start on the side where he finds things a bit more easy. And it's generally when they're physically more able, more coordinated, more comfortable, more connected on one side, then they're also going to be more confident with the scary things also from that side. And I look to move first, and then something comes, and I want him to think about staying with this connection. So just like riding, you're going along, and then something happens, and you want him to stay connected to the body. So you want to see that he doesn't block, stop in the front end, neck going up, you got a lot of pressure on the rein. You just want to feel that he can stay like this. Good. So then he brings himself down rather than waiting for that thing to go away to be able to relax. Good boy. We just changed tools. If you take him, then I will give you the flag. And for me, I would start to teach him step by step with these exercises, doing like 70% on the left.
Okay.
And then when you see that he starts to really get confident, and we do 2-3 times on the right, and he gets it a little bit, then stop. Don't think because the right side's nervous, we have to do it more to get it equal.
Teach him on the left side, and then naturally it will...
Exactly. Yeah. He has to learn the confidence, the feeling, the sensation. He has to know what to do instinctively. And then when he has that and he feels a little bit awkward on the right, then he will start to take that over automatically because the feeling is not as good. But he has to know what to take over to that side to make it feel better. And the more clear we make that, the quicker. And then when they bring it over themselves, then the difficult side really quickly becomes the good side, because they're more motivated to give that feeling. So first, just the approach on the left, moving the flag just around him, being aware of where the flag's going, and just being aware of what part of his body starts to bring a little bit of tension in. Yeah, so there I would step backwards and just lead your left front leg to the left. So if you step to the right, and then just ask him to step forward and to the left one step. Now just keep walking back, take the flag away, and now just ask him to step one time, and that he steps more to his left.
Oh, to his left.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like aerobics, you know. When the instructor says left, they mean right. And because when you approach, he started to go a bit like this, so then I take it away and I show him
towards
this is the feeling. And then reapply, and he's like, oh yeah, now my body's in the right position. So he becomes aware what his body's doing without him knowing. His body first reacts, and then he thinks, oh, something's suspicious here. My body's telling me, be careful. And we have to tell him, it's your body telling you that. So the physical action you take is going to determine how you feel. So if he has an awareness and he can change this feeling, maybe it needs to be something from you that says, remember this.
Go towards it.
Yeah, but in the end he will do it himself. And so the same again, approach from that side. Yeah, better. And then drop the rein. Good. And then start to move it over his body. So then you have the approach, but also the touch. And then the movement. Good. And then good. And then check in with the lower part of the neck. It's already there. Good. Yeah. Just wait. Oh. And not that he has to drop the head too quick. This is already better. Take the hand away. Yeah. The one blink for him is good. Change sides. We don't want him to think too much about dropping the head, because then it's a change of position and not a change of state. It's more powerful for him to blink than put the head down.
Okay.
And then relax, drop the rein more. Yeah. And then just tune into the base of the neck, because he starts to, and wait. Good, there. It's already enough. Good. Yes. Change sides again. So this is like the 1+1. You said, do you have what's going on here? He gives a good answer. Then we have to ask the question from a different position. And you hear the stomach going. Stuff starting to relax. Good. Yes. Good. And then a little bit the flag over the back. Because he's now had it from the left and the right, he can have it right eye, left eye. Yes, good. Yeah, and the same again. Yes. Good. Perfect. And then we change tools again. We go a little bit with the noise. And we build up in this way that we deal with the elements first that he's going to be most comfortable with. And then we go to the things that he's more insecure about, the more yeses we get. And then you just start with the sound. Good. And go to his left side first. Good, and relax. And then just move the left front leg towards you. Yep. And relax. Good. And again, left front leg towards you. Just once. Yes, good there. Good. Yeah. And now relax. Good. And then from the left side again, the noise.
From his left side.
Yep. Good. Perfect. Then a little bit from more behind him. Just relax on the rope more. Yeah. Good. Yes. And then more behind him. Good. Perfect. And more behind. Good. Yeah. So there, when you start to go up, the first tension comes in the butt, not in the head.
Okay.
So just go up again. Yeah, and now just feel on top of the croup. Yes, wait for him to tune in. Yes, there. Take the hand away. Good. And now again, from high up and behind. Oh, yes. And then not more. And now it's connected to the breathing. It's good. Perfect. So this is like textbook, systematic teaching of the self-management of the body.
Okay.
I mean, you do this with everything you can possibly imagine, it becomes a bulletproof horse. Because he doesn't allow any part of his body to flex in a way that's going to protect him. He starts to get control, that his body starts to release him, not hold him. Yeah. I just take it a little bit up a notch.
So this, we would need to do it from the right then?
No.
The right side?
Not when you get it so good.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's because the next session, you will start there and the body will be solid on the left.
Yeah.
Because he's already succeeded. And then when you bring that to the right, that's much more powerful than now bringing what you just got on the left and now say, okay, now do this on your really insecure side.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell? I just got it, you know? Yeah, it sounds logical when we say it out loud, but it's...
Yeah, but in a way, it's a little bit how we think also when we write them. We try to always teach them on the easy side.
Yeah.
Naturally, it goes to the other side naturally as well.
Yeah, but also too, when we ride, we think, oh, we've done something to the left, so we do it to the right.
Yeah.
To keep it even. But in the process of learning the management of the body and self, we have to also think of what is it that he's learning, what is the skill.
Yeah.
And the better we are at saying, this was really good, and we leave it, the more it sticks, the more power it has, the more value it is, and the better they are the next time. They have the confidence in that. Sometimes we think we have to check for our security, that we know they do it. So now we have the approach, we have the noise, and we have the movement. And so I'm just picking a spot and what I'm glad about in the beginning is that he moves in the diagonal pairs. So already now this is a different movement than here. So when they have the focus then on the bag, controlling the bag, getting suspicious, then I said, don't watch the bag, look inside at yourself. Don't forget it's about you. It's not about what's in the situation. If you can learn to control you, you control all situations. And we have to just teach him to be such a master of himself that he sees the others in the warming up as amateurs. It's like, what the hell are they doing? They have no control, no thought of the line they're riding at all. And the nice thing is he's sweet enough and clever enough.
Yeah.
But he's sensitive. So if he's not given the right tools to manage the sensitivity, it quickly gets too much. So just building it up in stages, and each time he gets that little bit stronger, a little bit better. Yes. So here he starts the swinging, he controls the bag, or the focus becomes on the bag, and then the ears go back. When his head went up, Then the ear went, so he's looking at the bag, and then he thinks, oh, 1 second, like, oh, what am I doing? Then I stop. So to reward that thought. And then the visual system, yes, it starts to relax. There, one ear, good. This feeling. We start to get the droopy eye again. And he brings himself back to that all the time. And then once we've done this side, good. We start to be able to bring it in contact. So what happens here? Oh, now it's like a stone. Yes. Good. And occasionally, because we're working on the sensitivity of him feeling himself, we also occasionally have to tell him he's doing good. You know, what you're feeling here is good. He has to know that he's doing a good job and that we can stimulate him also in that way. Good boy. Yes. Yes, good. And so same again, once we can do something on the left and he starts to get a handle on it, it's better for him that we can split it up. You stop on the left and then eventually we get these things on the right. And then we can do left and right, but also from in front. So this taking a step forward. Now right front is back. So then when the right front leans forward and he gets here in the yes posture, not in the no posture so much that in the end he has to run and escape. Now left front. Left front. This. Yes, this. Good. And he feels that this opening up of the shoulder is the release of tension, the closing of the shoulder when something's above you, around you. This closing of the shoulder is going to get you tight, nervous, and it's going to get more difficult from there. So just showing him those little bits, and when he knows what it is he has to do with the body, in the end you'll be riding and I won't be able to have 20 of these and I won't be able to disturb you. And that's just in building up the level of self-management, awareness of the body. It's good. I think we should stop here with the tools and then we just put the bridle on.
Yep.
And then I feel him a little bit in the bridle, how the steps are. And then we can transfer this body language, maybe also a little bit with the tools in the bridle. So guys, I hope you're focusing on your questions, thinking if not everything's making sense, that you are putting some questions in the chat for later on. But this is basically the main way in which I go through an assessment with the horse, how we build the knowledge of knowing what is the actual cause of the insecurities. It's not that we have a horse that's maybe afraid in the warm-up, so we go in the warm-up and we find out how to make him not afraid in the warm-up. But what is the element that's causing the fear? What is he doing in his body that's making him insecure? Which part of his body is he not having control of? In which moment does he not know what he has to do, which causes the insecurity? And then we build, of course, just the knowledge, the information. We teach him what to do with himself by teaching him an awareness of what his body's doing and how he can do it differently. This part is really important because we are transferring now what we would normally do actually also without the saddle, but because we've had already one session without the saddle, we start this session with the saddle. That's not the same with every horse, of course. But this part is important that we can transfer those same steps through the body. But he does the same in the bridle as we do in the saddle. So we just feel here in the beginning this connection here again. We can get so already now the bridle and the bit in, and now we have a different sensation already, not quite as soft and supple. So this is important that we know already when we put the bridle on, there's already less relaxation and flexibility than with the halter. So it's good that he knows the step stays the same. So I want to feel that first. So if I change something, does that make an association to, oh, now I've got the bridle on. This is a different sensation than with the halter. And the more times you can create those links, that you build a bridge between the halter, the bridle, no saddle, a saddle, no rider, a rider, position on the ground, position up in the saddle. The more you can make those connections, the more they start to make the connections without us knowing. You teach them the element of movement, or you teach them the element of sound with a clapper, and then they have the sound of the flag or a horse cantering on the stones, and soon they make that connection as well. Like, oh, element of sound, oh, my body does this, control my body, oh, I control the situation. So I find these not only for our pilot check, but also for him learning what it is to make a connection with something. Yes. I had a really interesting one-on-one coaching with a student from the States yesterday, and she told me a wonderful story about a horse that was finding it difficult to walk downhill.
Okay.
Having a lot of tension, stopping, blocking, losing balance. And then I showed her how to keep the momentum going by zigzagging.
Downhill.
Yeah, turning, opening the front, zigzagging, turning, opening the front, zigzagging. So she was riding on the cross-country course like this, and then she said she put him out in the field and his friends were down the bottom, and that was the beeline down to where the friends were.
Yeah.
And he stopped and he looked, and then he started to go through this pattern by himself. So this making a connection to what is useful for me. So then I connect this movement from here to here.
Okay.
And already now when I open this, you see what happens. So then I can say, well, when I did that, why did something change here and here? We don't want there to become tension in. We don't want you to forget about what's going on in your body when my hand is coming here. And we want to be able to move this way, this way, this way. Yes. And if we then come with the leg on the opposite side to go into this pattern. Yes. We don't want that also to then turn into a tension movement. Front leg's the other side. Yes. Good. This way. Yes, behind and across. Very good. Oh, and then right leg on. Yes. Yeah. So now in the flank area, getting some contraction here again. Here. Oh, good. Yes. Oh. Abdominal contraction. Breathing in, holding the abdominals. Now it lets go, you hear the belly gurgling. So this first part of creating this movement here. Now we start to join things a little bit together. Very good. And now being able to create that connection on the other side. Left front. Good. From a riding position. Good. Right hind. Oh. Connecting to left front. There's the step. There's the step. Yes. Yes. So you can see now the opening up of the left front is the difficulty. The block comes from the left front becoming disabled. Boy. And so when the left front gets a little stuck, then everything, there's no out anymore. Everything that happens on the right is feeling like he's trapped between the wall and whatever we do on the right. So this exercise is really important. Feel the freedom of the right front leg, the left front leg. Yes. Oh, now a lot of gastric movement, belly gurgling. Good. Yes. More breathing. Good boy. Good. Then simulating the riding. So making sure we have an out here with right front leg. This. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Testing that on the other side. So just letting him go in a little shoulder yield through the left front to create more mobility and more connection through the diagonal pairs. So from our clock shape, left front, turning. Yes. Yes. This shape. This shape. Good. Good. Right front. Right front. Yes. 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 Good. Yes. Good. Good. And so that this movement starts to really have a meaning of the relaxation Also following the rein without moving the feet. Yes. Weight in the saddle, pressure, picking up, hand out, follow. Yes. Rein picks up, he feels my body on the right side and he has to follow and look on the left, hand up. Yes. Good. Boy. Just go through a little bit the pattern on the ground and then we can go through the getting on stage.
Yep. So, first.
Yep. And then right rein, yep. Right rein, right front. Good, and then slower. Yes. You feel now the freedom comes in more and more, eh?
Yeah.
Good, and relax, and then let the nose go a little bit more towards the front leg. Good boy.
Towards.
Yeah, so the nose goes more towards the right front in the direction he's going. And if he wants to put the nose down, let him drop the neck a little. Yeah, this step, good, and relax, perfect. Yes, and then just have the feeling you can do that from there, yeah. Yeah, so left rein, ask him to go a little bit back. And then right rein, ask him to step across. This step, very good. Yes, and relax, perfect. That was good. Yes, same on the other side. You first just do the front leg, that you can get rid of the feeling through the rein. Good, and let him take the nose more down towards the left front. Very good. Yes, and relax. And then the front leg from the riding position. So right rein, yeah, helps him to go back. Left rein guides him to the side. Perfect. Yes. Yeah. Good. And then left rein. Yeah. And then the backwards noise. Yeah. And then right rein helps him a little back. And now less. Good. And let him do the step. Lifting up the right rein a little. Yeah. Other right. This one, yeah, and now relax. And then feel first that you can get the backwards from the right rein and that you go a little bit straight, softly back. Lifting up and release. Good, and the giving rein's the most important bit. And release. Loose rein, yes. Good, and now as soft as possible. Little back, release. Yes, little back, release. Good. Yes. And relax, good. This feeling. So the more you can give, even before he takes the step. If he leans back, then release, then he takes the step. If we hold him through the step, he will take the step and start to lean on the front. And then we can't get the next one because he's not here to the side. Just the hind leg on this side. Yes. Good. Yeah, and slower. Yes. Good. And then feel him in the flank on this side. So just your left hand in the flank. Good. Exactly. That when he starts to go on the right rein, that he doesn't get this leg crampy, but he can let down through the flank and take a smooth step.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's almost getting tension by the hind leg, giving this reaction. Front leg's one time the other side, and then the left hind. So right front leg across. Good. You can do it also from the riding position. Good. And slower. Yes, and relax, good. And now the hind leg on that side. The outside rein long. Yeah, make the outside rein a little longer.
Outside.
Yeah, exactly. Good. Good, and feel the connection between the rein and the leg. This step, this, good. Yes, exactly. And then you just start to walk a little bit on the circle, so from your right hand through the left rein, and you start to go somewhere with it. Yeah, and right hand on your leg aid. Yeah, good. So you're in a riding position next to the saddle. Yes, good. And then start to walk on a bigger circle. So you start to walk forward with him. Stay on your shoulder. Yeah, like this. Good. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Good. Good. And stay at the shoulder. Yeah, stay at the shoulder yourself. Like you're sitting in the saddle. Yeah, and then you feel where the blockage comes from, yeah? Every time outside front leg gets in the ground. Yeah. Good. Yes, there. And then stay at the shoulder. Good. Yes, and relax again. So in the end, you have the feeling that you have connection with your right front through your left rein. And you can stay in this riding position. So you have connection to your outside front leg. Yes. Yes. So now we're simulating the riding. Here we sit. Guide him through the outside front. Good. Rub him up the neck. Yes. Now my hip is the inside leg. Inside leg towards inside rein. Yes. Yes. So we feel all the time here that we can replicate these things that are going to happen, but we can bring reference to the body.
Yeah.
And really go through the pilot check that this is the feeling. And the connection from the ground is really opening the front leg, and then the hind leg goes into the front. Just feel a bit on the right. And this, of course, we do this for his education, but it's also for your feeling.
Yeah.
That you really, because when you get in the saddle, we have our preconceived idea of what we normally do when we ride. And if we install a new order of movement, a new meaning, we have to take that feeling that you have here also there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So position yourself at the saddle. Yes, this is better. Good. And then rest your hand on the front of the saddle, the left hand. Yeah. Good. Yeah, and think that your forward starts with the rein, not from the leg. Yes, this feeling. Good. And rub him up the neck, drop the rein. Yeah, and then drop the rein with your right hand and just rub him up the neck. Yes, like this. Pick up the rein, get the energy. Yeah, good. Good. And then rub him up the neck again. Very good. So this is also my pilot check, Bruno. When someone says, can you get on and ride my horse? This is the thing I do before. This is the thing I do instead of this.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, do we have an understanding? Is the horse able to go through the rein? Yes, very nice. Already you start on your dressage movements. Good. Yeah, perfect. Here's feeling. And then you can turn the hind leg all the way. Right hand up near the front of the saddle. Yeah. Yeah, with the rein. Yes, like this. Good. Yeah, now let him stop. That was good. Perfect. Yes, and then make the rein long on both sides. Good. Yes, and now just put your hand on top of the wither. Like this.
Here, do I apply pressure? Or?
Yeah. Good. Look at the breathing already.
Now this is what we were talking about in the beginning.
Yeah, perfect.
About
there it is. The button's installed.
about the
yeah. As soon as the hand goes on the wither, he relaxes the eye, the neck. You see the belly. He has the big breath. Really good. Now we come to the difficult point because actually,
we would have
finished. Yeah. I'm glad you said it because this is actually
that you remembers this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like step, 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 boom. This is it.
Because he's gonna remember how he ends it.
Yes.
Yeah.
We just give him a few seconds, and then we go just to the drawing of the block. And I just feel if he can just take this over and go through the motions, just for you to be able to feel how you can get this step in the saddle. But it's important that I see that you understand that this was it.
Yeah.
It's like now we go through the sequence, we deal with some things where he's insecure, we solve them, we give more understanding and awareness, we put a new button on for the eye, the breathing.
That he always ends with a good experience.
Yeah, and that you save now the most important bits that we uploaded.
Yeah.
Like you look at the
that he doesn't forget this.
This is...
Yeah.
So we almost need to, like I could leave him and work another one if we were here. Like if I was riding this morning, this would be the... And then we could pick it up again, but he needs to feel like this was it. This is the save button. Then the next time you bring him in, he just goes through the motions. He's like, I know this. Oh, the hand up there, that means this.
We give time to save.
Yeah. It's good. And also this part is important. Like where is this information going? Is it sinking deeper into the body? Does it need more time to settle? Is he confident, satisfied with the feeling, and he comes to you like, what's next, you know?
Yeah.
Or is he like, holy shit, that was a whole lot of information. And if you're like, yeah, I see that, that's good. I'll let you stew on that, and then we can go from there. But this is okay. He's relaxed. It's good. We just put the helmet on.
Yeah.
And then you can show me how I can already feel you're getting on the magical ways installed. I just do some extra pilot checks for you. Look out. Cameramen are starting to move furniture in the arena. It's like men have been hung for less than that. So we just do the draw. I make a compromise. I'll put it in the middle of the... So just the drawing in. Sometimes on the horses, you just do it in the way you do it, but sometimes the ones that are nervous of things going above, I will draw them in from this position first, as a breakdown, go away, draw them in, then step up, then draw them in from up.
Okay.
I mean, you're further than that now, I can feel already, with how much draw you've got. But just in the thought process of the breakdown.
I bring him to the...
Yeah. But you can just go on the step, or just how you normally would. Yeah, very good.
So now I bring him out again, or?
What do you normally do?
What I normally do?
Yeah, just jump on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, but just go through the normal pattern if you need to bring him one step closer, or you go on from the block, or you...
So now I do what I usually do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Without moving the block.
Without moving.
Can do what you do, but without doing that.
Okay.
Yes. Good. Yeah, and yes. So this is what everybody needs to think more about. So we've today made a connection from the visual system to that spot.
Yeah.
And I kind of said when we do it. But now you've taken it directly to a different process. Now it's a process of getting on, and you're already making the connection saying, oh, this could be useful here.
Yeah.
This is how I found out stuff. Like find something, oh, I'm going to test it here, I'm going to try it here. This is like learning yourself. So I know automatically you won't be the person that will come now in 3 months, 6 months, a year's time with exactly the same horse, with exactly the same problem. Because you'll bring this now you'll think, ah, that was like that. Oh, I do this. And you will take that on to another horse. But you don't know how many people have come for years and they bring the same horse. It's a gelding, or it's a mare, or it's red, or it's brown, or it's...
The same problem.
Like, that's weird. Like, why have you got the same shit going on, you know?
Same horse in different shapes.
Yeah. So here, don't think about the head down. Already this. So less is more. This
is more than just the head down.
And even when you're feeling this part, there, and you see it's enough. And then from here, I would get to this. He drew in, you're up on the block, you're above him, you've said check in with yourself, he's getting into a relaxed state. I would then normally, in the process of learning it, go down and walk here again.
Okay.
And come back again and say, can you repeat that? He's like, oh yeah, I'm really comfortable with that. I can go like this. And then you know, okay, step 1, 2, 3, 4 is solid. He parks in, he's not worried about me on the step, he goes into a relaxed state, he prepares himself, presented the saddle, and he's perfect in his body for the getting on process. And sometimes we think, oh, they're there, okay, let's get on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so also here, I didn't have to ask you to do it, I give you a bit of information of what's maybe possible. Yeah, and then just do the circle left. And then I like to, myself, I like to feel that I can bring them as far from this side as possible. So the head is, front legs are there, and then they do all the work to come in. If I lead from this side, I've kind of done half of it for them. Yes. Good, and then take the right hand down when he's stepping in. Yeah, exactly. Head a little bit away. Good. Yeah, and relax. Good. Perfect. And then first, give the long rein. Let him tune in. Perfect. It's already, you can already take the hand away. I mean, before he even feels your fingers, he's like, if he had fingers, he would just go immediately. And when you have something that makes the connection so quick, in the end, this will lead to all areas. Warming up, competition, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
These makes the connections really good in the mind. Good, and then you just put foot up without going in the stirrup. Yeah. And then making sure you go towards the stirrup and that the left foot's not telling him to back up. And then I use a different noise when I want to go forward. Yeah. One more. Yeah, it's okay. And now do the draw again. Yeah. Good. So you're also able to separate the sound. Now you also feel this work here, asking him to go forward, following the rein on a circle, straight line, yielding. Those exercises gives you even more access here. Then he knows exactly, this means I have to take a forward step. So this communication also gets better. And then take your foot towards the stirrup, because here you go towards the chest, which indicates to him he should.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, and then foot forward. Good. Yes. Perfect. Good, and relax. Yeah.
But he's going always a bit.
Yeah, so keep the left hand, make sure the left rein's not tight, that he steps off it, but that it's always forward. Yeah. And then the breathing. Good. Yes. And now, because he anticipates a backward step, lift the foot up like you're going to go in the stirrup. Go down and go forward. And now rest here. Yeah, like this. So that you tell him what the next step's going to be. So teaching to him before doing to him. And then from here, go riding position, right front leg, walk a little bit, stop, and then rest. Because this is also the next move you're going to do. So when you get on, you're going to go open. Yes. Good. And then backwards. Good. And relax. Yeah. So then you're really getting this feeling, sensation, this solid explanation. This is what we're going to do next. If you've got a horse backing up, let him know that it's going to be the forward next. And same as if you have a horse that goes forward, you get on and it's running off, then you would do the opposite.
Yeah.
Then you would go backwards and to the left and stop halfway down here. He's backing up, you're going to go open the front leg, go forward and stop somewhere up here. Yeah, get the front leg set, one step forward. Yes. Yeah, one more. Yes, good. And then move the shoulder a little. So from the saddle, that you feel this. Yeah, and when you move, this is what's going to happen when you also put the foot in the stirrup, that he also doesn't do this. So when you have the movement, he's also settling in and getting stability, like this. And then you can also connect that with the left hand under the neck to say, when I move the shoulder, think about stabilizing your front and, yes, being there. Good, like this. Good, and then the foot up in the stirrup. And then forward. Good. And then stop. Yes. And then just turn left and go back to the step. Yeah, exactly. Good. Good. Foot in the stirrup. Yeah. And then have the feeling. Yeah, good. And now relax. Good. And then when you start to put the weight, then you look for the stop with the weight. So if I put my foot here, weight, oh, backwards, release, release the stirrup. So what we look for on that day is weight in the stirrup. Oh, good. Here, tension release. Yes. Weight in the stirrup. Yes. Good. So what's the meaning of the weight in the stirrup? Yes. This feeling. Oh, good. Yes. Same again. So basically keeping the weight, waiting for the stop. Good. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Good. And also, yeah, good. And also feeling when you go up that you don't think, oh, I don't want him to move. Okay. Like leg up, moving the body. Good. Yeah. Oi, that was good. Yes. On the side. Yeah. And then standing up on the side. Keep a little bit of inside rein so if he turns, he goes left. Yeah. Good. Rub him on the belly. Yes. Exactly like this. Good. And then test your wither. Perfect. Good. And go down again. Yeah, look for a good space. Perfect. Good. Walk forward. Yeah. Exactly. Good. And also those horses, that if you go up, they already have the contraction a little bit backwards. Even if they've prepared, they stand, they relax, you go up. If the body goes up in tension, they change state. Oh boy. Then first step away, it's going to be a tense one.
Yeah.
But if you get this bit solid, then your first step away is going to be a good one. Just go left. Yeah, good. You're a bloody A student, Bruno. Just go to the block again. You're even doing the things I forgot I told you. Yes. And basically, if it's his weakness, good. If it's his weakness, you work on it, it will become his strength. Good. Go up on the side. Yes. Tension release a little. You can feel also under his neck with the right hand. Yes, good already. He takes the one blink. Oh, very good. Then you get on. Just go on fully. You all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have to feel also you've changed the plan, like you've changed the feeling and the state.
Yeah.
And your pilot check is checking all these things. It's good that you're careful, but you also have to, if you keep the same story in your body, you have to change and keep up with his change.
Okay.
Otherwise, you will keep him in that sensation. If you keep the thing like, oh, I have to really, he's like, oh yeah, shit, I forgot about that state that we've been in for a long time.
Just do as if, trust the process and do as if it was a normal horse.
You're progressing.
Yeah.
It's getting better. You're checking along the way. You're tuned into him. He's tuned into himself. it's like, yeah. That's also a part of getting used to it. Now you're following steps I'm telling you to do, so you have to trust that my steps are making the horse better. So also trusting it. Yeah. Yeah, but this is...
Yeah.
And then if you make that really the solid thing, you have a horse that's nervous to get on, and you make this their strength. Like if I had a horse that's nervous to get on, I go through the process we just did. I would also do the getting off, and then I would get off, and that would be the session. Or I would bring him out and just do that.
Yeah.
It's like now you've just got into the perfect state. I'm got on, and I'm now sitting on, and that's actually what we did today and what we achieved. And then you get, or that session, and then you get off, and he's like, oh, yeah, shit, I'm a bit of a master of that. But if every time we get on, we ride and go and do something, again, they forget what it is to be a masterful presenter of the saddle, to be mounted. So stopping sometimes when it's really good says, yeah, this is it. And also that the brain doesn't get into, eventually we go and do something.
Yeah.
You know, and they end up, they're already in canter, and the body's like this while we're stepping on. They're in a preparation for a transition to canter, instead of being like, oh, hang on a minute, I've got to wait till he actually gets on. And when he's got the foot in the stirrup and we're ready to go, yeah, then this is the thing. And also this state, you know, it's important for him to feel like this whole process feels
relaxing.
Yeah. So the next process is, of course, going through the patterns in the saddle. The tools that we did on the ground today and that you did, we do also in the saddle. Approach, so standing still, and then the approach and touch, so riding towards something.
So you on the ground and
yeah.
me.
Approach and touch, and we take it away. Then he does approach and pass, so he goes to the thing, I move out the way and he rides through me. So we teach him this, yes, I go. If you say, that grey horse there, ride through him. He's like, okay. Because you teach him in the body what it is. Not that he's, oh, you know, oh, he's coming from this side.
Yeah.
But you teach the body to say, hey, he is someone. So you give him a different response in the body. Again, like everybody's begging us now to open a front leg and, you know.
See the problem.
Yeah, like, it's like, okay, now do this. Oh, now he's done that. Okay, now do this. Oh, and now chase him, you know.
You're going to think this way.
Now ride the shoulder and show us how you teach him the flying change. Like, and, you know, it goes forever.
Everybody's going to think this is one of the school horses.
Here's one we prepared earlier, one from the Malaysia. It's good. Now he's in sedation mode. Yeah. So then you just open your right front leg, we bring him here into the middle, and then it's enough. Okay.
So just the way he is now?
Just like you did on the ground. Yeah. Open, backwards. Yeah, so now you have to go backwards. Here. Right front to me. Yes. Yes. Behind. And release. Oh, good. Yes. And then the same again. This step. Yes. And that, yes. Ah, that was good. Feel that the left front goes behind. Now it's going for, yes, good. This step. Good. And again, backwards. And relax. Good. And backwards. Yes.
So the same thing, backwards with the left rein and then...
Exactly. Good. This one backwards. Yes. Left one backwards. Yes, and relax. Good. And again. Till you feel that. Yeah. Good. No legs on. Backwards from left front. And relax. Good. Yes. And now, the wither. Longer rein. Yes. Very good. Yes. Good. So in the moment where the tension comes in, you have to mobilize him to show him the change of direction. This is why the pattern is so important, that you can now take physical action in the moment to help him and not go, a bit of hover riding, wait, and then, you can say, hey, remember this in the body. And then the same again. So this is now like that step. First step again, right front.
Right, yeah.
Probably you get a reaction again, but left front behind. Yeah, good. Behind. Yes, behind. That step. Oi, good. Yes, good. And now left front. Yeah, that's okay. Good. Longer rein. Very good. Don't think about the birds. They're just there to test you, not him. Good. And now just have the feeling that you can bring your left leg onto the stomach, that you feel the stomach. Yes. And now he has to understand that the meaning of you touching the stomach is not movement. And if he does, it's only left rein, and you feel the diagonal pair movement. But now, yes, this feeling. Drop the rein a bit. Yes, good. Exactly. Drop the rein more and let the leg go forward. Yeah. Yes. So this is then the connection to the breathing. So now you've got from a riding position, the eye. You can now even do the connection to this part by lifting up the rein. So lift up the rein with two hands and feel the connection to this part of the neck. And then he thinks about this part.
Drop
the rein. Yeah.
But do I go and touch it?
No. Now you're doing it from the rein. So you engage, lifting up. He's thinking about this part of the body. Yes. Already you feel it on the rein. Good. Drop the rein to the buckle. Yes. Breathing on the left side. Good. Good. Yes. Like this. Yeah, good. It's easier to feel on the saddle because you...
Yeah.
Good. And now release the leg again. Yes. So then the lifting up of the rein, that you can also do from the ground. So you lift the rein and then you check in, top of the neck, relax. Then you lift the rein, it connects this part of the neck, he starts to drop.
It links one thing to the other.
Yeah. The connection to the pole is high and a little forward. Connection to the lower part of the neck is then in line with it. So you feel that your hand connects from the rein to the lower part of the neck. Just feel that now, so widen the hand. Yeah. Yeah, and feel the lower part of the neck, just from the rein, through the rein. You feel that where it joins, yes, and drop the rein to the buckle. Good. Yes, and now the visual system. So hand on the wither. Yes. Good boy. Good. Yes. And then the rein a little bit up the neck. Yeah, and drop it on the neck, like this. It's good. It says, yes. Very good. And then we try the left front. And then you think of the opening of the rein and like you engage the rein on the ground. You're opening. Yeah. Right front, backwards. Yeah, exactly. Good. Good. Yes, and feel here. Yeah. This step. This step. Hey. Yes. Left front across, good, and relax. Yeah, good. Boy. Good, slowly lift. Yeah, it's okay, do nothing. Very good. And then right front a little. Yeah, left, yes, good. Hey, little bit back. Good, and relax. Yes. Boy. So this starts to just feel like pick up the rein and he yes, already less tension. Good. This step. Yes, good. Yeah, exactly. Good.
So then,
yeah.
So up and a bit wide.
Yeah. Good, and drop. Exactly. Good boy. Perfect. Very good. So it's this initiation of when we pick up, where does his energy go? Of course, on the ground you can already feel it. He takes that forward step, and in the riding, of course, it's just emphasized. So the better it is on the ground, the more he gets it here, the more you get it from the riding position, and then you'll start to get it from here again. But already now, he gets into this relaxed state, and then the breathing from your left leg on the stomach. Yeah, perfect. Doesn't matter, yeah. And then only the left rein, yeah, exactly. Good, good, yes. And then long rein. Good, very good. And then long rein again. Yeah. Yes. Very good. Oh, good. Take your leg forward. Yeah. So also there, not waiting with your leg until you get the big, but just the initial connection of him to the breathing. So as soon as you feel the leg go a little bit in and out, he makes the blink. He relaxes with the body. Good. Yeah.
So I get on and then I think about the back and opening.
Yeah.
Instead of just opening in a forward motion.
Yeah. Because then you'll get this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you simulate that, this is what we're going to do. Go to the block, sit up, get down. This is what we're going to do. Sit up. This is what we're going to do. So it's as close to the next step as you can possibly get.
Yeah.
So he then finds the flow like, oh yeah, shit. That's much better.
Yeah.
And then if you get that first step that's relaxed, just get off. You know, just like you did with the mounting now.
Yeah.
You can also do that with the first step.
Yeah.
That you get to this bit. Don't go on with the riding and start and do your normal workout, but say, okay, I'm going to just spend like a couple of sessions and get this perfect. Because this is also the beginning of your ride. The getting on, the first few steps, this is going to determine the state and the body that you have, that you take with you into everything. And if you can keep that at a relaxed state in all the stages, then he will stay more and more like that throughout everything. But now he's like not there anymore.
Yeah.
So we can do more, but we will just
Yeah.
work the system and not
You won't
bring
learn
anything in. No.
Okay.
And then just continuing to build on these things. The good thing is you innately are remembering the steps, and you are making the connections really well. And it's feeling when you're doing the groundwork, when you're moving the front leg, when you step on the side, when you hang on the side, when you feel the thing, when you swing the leg, when you go down, that you're also building a sensation in your body that's normal. If you're like, I'm going to try this, but I'm going to be ready because, and he's like, what? Why are you ready? What are you ready for?
Yeah.
You of course have to stay alive, But you want to hope that the steps you put in front is going to bring you into an easy way of working. But just to be aware of it, you'll probably find it yourself.
Yeah.
If you're not aware of it, we stay in the same pattern and then we sort of get the same feel.
Don't evolve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. And then a little bit following the left rein.
Without moving.
Yeah. Yeah, and then lifting. Good, like this. Yes, exactly. So that when you go to get off, he's not like sleeping, and then you go to get off and he's like, oh, fuck, he didn't. Good.
So now I get off.
Yeah. And also the same process as the way you get on. So you're on the side, you know, if you swing the leg on the side and you get a bit of this, stay there.
Yeah.
And then, good. And then slowly you build something where he gets more and more confident. Good. Ah, good boy.
Finally.
He's getting addicted to that breathing thing. So, I've never actually felt my belly move when I breathe before. Only inwards. Good.
But this is what happens. And then
Yeah.
He gets in the. It happens in the ring sometimes. In the turn, you feel it, and then you kind of go along, and then it stops.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, and this
It happens.
preparation, everything we did before, it gives you the skills to fix it like this.
Yeah.
And you really get those steps solid so that you don't, this goes away. Because he understands what to do with his body, has an awareness of what his body's doing, he knows a movement that's different to this one. You know, he's only just learning that on the ground. When he becomes a master of this, like you touch a rein or you move, he just does this in the body. You know, then when you get on, even if he, you know, he follows that step instead of this one. So you have something really useful you can do.
He's understand that pattern is better, is nicer for him, and it's more comfortable for him than the other one.
It just changes the whole order of movement. Yeah. And then when he changes how he feels, he changes the pattern, changes how he thinks, then he changes how he behaves. And everything starts to flow from there by itself.
Yeah.
It's good. Just take him out and then let him be in the box a bit.
Perfect.
He can have a drink and he can relax a little bit first. And now you really started the journey, so step by step, you'll be soon on your way, and then you'll have that skill for every other horse.
Perfect.
Good, well done. All right, guys, get your questions ready. We're about to start our Q&A. I'm looking at Simona. Yeah. Don't stop laughing. So guys, we're here. Some of you may, I told the guys in the last Q&A, the official members Q&A, there was Faith's last time, but look out, she's here again. So Faith, what do we have?
Yeah, can't get rid of me. Okay, first question. How do you see the difference between a relaxed horse and a shutdown horse?
So it's the basic engagement with the body. So if you have a shutdown horse and you're doing tension release, you will get nothing. You will feel that the level of contraction, tension in the body is non-responsive. But for a horse that is tense and giving a reaction, you are getting them to tune into the body so that they feel the contrast, they can start to be aware of it and change it. A horse that's shut down and not giving a response is also not having a connection with the body. This is why they're not active, why they're not forward. And we're actually looking for the opposite to a horse that is having the reaction. A horse having a reaction is going to be externally focused, so the visual system's got to be feeding information, And the shutdown one is going to be like this. It's not in a peripheral vision that's relaxed and aware, that he's not looking but he still sees the bench over there and the camera over there, but he's literally closed. But we're approaching it in the same way, creating a connection and looking for the moment that he starts to change the visual system. He becomes engaged, he starts to look outside, and then we give the release. It's not about trying to get a shutdown horse to do something, get him through the patterns, start to get him moving, think about getting him forward. It's getting, again, the connection to himself. When he first connects to himself, then he can start to take that body that he now feels into something we want to do with him in the movement, in the exercises, then in the patterns, to be able to bring that awareness and mobility and motivation then back into the riding.
Great, thank you. Second question. As the horse is repeatedly trying to leave the mounting block, by repeating until he stops or gives up trying to communicate, do you not risk making the horse feel like he has no voice?
No. What we're doing is going through a natural process of, we're asking 1 + 1, and he's like, 7. My body's telling me I'm in a position that I should go now. We're like, okay, no, we have to come back, reminding the position of rest. He's thinking a little bit backwards because his natural tendency is he goes into a contraction pattern. So from standing still, he's going to go back. Of course, this contraction is also getting him to then, when he's nervous, to go forward. And sometimes this going back is his way of saying, oh, when he gets up, I'm going to, because when I go forward, then I'm going to be nervous. So we change that into showing him, explaining to him what it is he should do in that moment. When he's standing there and he starts to back off a little bit, it's the not knowing. When I feel the pressure, that puts me a little bit out of balance, my body goes into a bit contraction, and then I am moving there through contraction. I'm not knowing at that moment how to relax. And you could see, because we went through the explanation, he now knew what to do, and he was like, And then Bruno at the last step could just get on. Yeah. And he stood completely still. And then once he was on, he felt the rest of knowing, shit, now I know what it is I should do, and I can be totally relaxed. There's a difference between being aware of the horse not knowing what to do or showing some insecurity, and not being aware and just trying to get something done. This is the big thing. You're either aware and you're starting to be practical in giving your horse the right information, and you have to know what that information should be, and you have to know what it is he doesn't know in order to, find out, okay, he's a little bit confused here, he shows a little bit of tension. But if we don't know what it is or how to show him, we can say, oh, he's showing something, I'm not sure what to do, so then I'll just wait and give him a voice, let him say that he's nervous. But we have to think, why is he nervous? What information can we give him so he's not nervous anymore? And go through the process of teaching him in that moment what it is he needs to do, so we can relieve him of the question in his mind, which is the worry, which causes the tension, which causes the stress. So there's moments where you have to be proactive, but it's the difference between the not being aware and just trying to get it done, not paying attention. We are aware that he's nervous. We are aware that he doesn't know what it is he has to do. And we then practically try to do the right thing in giving him that information to relieve him of that. But of course, if we see him nervous and we just think, we just ignore that and we just try and get on him and ignore the fact that he doesn't have the information, then we're only putting him more into a moment of confusion, because we haven't given more information. Yeah. We didn't teach him to walk forward. We didn't give him skills about the balance. We didn't remind him again about the breathing and the things that are going to let him feel relaxed. We just thought, he's moving, bring him back again, try and get on again. Yeah. So going through that sort of meaningless process and not being aware that the horse actually has something is different than being aware and trying to give a solution for him.
Yeah, great. Next question. Is the process the same or is it different with various triggers? For example, if the horse is scared most of approach or sound instead of movement?
It's, of course, dealing with a different element, and every horse will have a different way of coping when he doesn't know the self-management of what to do in the body to be comfortable. He may not even know what his body's doing. So a horse that's noise sensitive, you know, he might be getting the head up. Mm-hmm. Some horses that are noise sensitive might be getting the head down.
Yeah.
So it's not about preventing their reflex flight reaction. It's about tuning them in to what their body's about to do and teaching them what is the alternative in order to feel like they're in control. When our body goes in an involuntary reflex pattern of protection, this is going over the step. This is getting to the point where we're no longer having to give reference. He's already starting to defend, to get into the flight state. So it's not so much approaching each element differently, movement, touch, sound, or approach. If your horse is scared of movement, or your horse is scared of a sound, or your horse is spooky, or your horse is horse shy, it's being aware of what is it that specifically happens in your horse's body that he's not aware of. And that can be different, that can be the same from two horses that are afraid of two different things.
Okay, yeah.
And it can also change from day to day, and positively. So your horse can start to find a relaxation point, and he starts to move a little bit backwards to find the balance. As the horse improves, he starts to feel different in the body, so he might start to respond differently. So it's not that you say, yeah, I have 10 horses afraid of sound, and that I always do in this way.
No, okay, yeah.
Because every horse is going to be a little bit different, and they also change in that way. What I do different is I'm very aware of how a particular element can affect the horse. So sound can affect a horse from behind, even if you're in front of him.
Right.
So he can have the sound rebound,
yeah,
and he has this reflex in the body.
Yeah.
You can have a horse that is then nervous with approach, and he's going to create a contraction and a reaction that's directly connected from the direction you're coming from.
Yeah.
So generally with sound, I give space in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because I want to be able to either guide them in a pattern, or I want to be able to draw them forward. So depending on which element you're using, approach with the bag, or movement with the flag, or sound with the clapper, I position myself in a way that I'm aware how this element could be experienced by the horse.
Okay, yeah.
And when not aware of that, we sort of go into the thing of sound, and we're standing right next to them.
Yeah, good.
Like we were just with the flag, and then we go, oh, now sound.
Yeah.
And we're not aware. So it's approaching those elements with the awareness of how that could affect that particular horse. Some horses are better to be drawing in front. Some horses are better to be on the side, really separate left side, right side. It just depends on the level of awareness of which part of the body and where their tendency is to go into the contraction. From in front, from beside. Do they bring the front leg in? They need the front leg out. Drawing backwards, drawing away, running forwards over you. What is it that the body does? And then what is that element going, how is that going to affect the horse? And you being able to adapt. And being good at it is being able to balance all those elements.
Yeah.
Which is easy when you practice it.
Well, and then I think final question. What if you can't even get close to your horse with one of the tools, for example, the back stick, when the horse immediately starts to step back?
So in the beginning, you are working if you are this far away. Some horses, they might be shut down. You might also need to start this far away.
And do you have them on the rope? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
So making sure in the beginning, of course, that you have already taught them about the body, what's going on in the body. If you haven't taught that and you start with the tool, of course, they're unaware of the reaction. They start to get a contraction in the body, and then you haven't got a beginning. And the tension release will give you a basis to be able to feel, okay, this is I can start to begin here. Also your pattern, when you start to go to the clock shape and you use the whip, this is already one element of approach. It's already one element of touch. You've already done touch from tension release. So you're building these things. If you're kind of doing a bit the exercises and you don't put meaning to them, you've moved and you've done your line dancing, and he's kind of gotten relaxed somehow by just going through the shapes and the forms, but it's not connected to self, it's not connected to touch, it's not connected to the element of approach. He's sort of used to you being around him, so he goes, oh yeah, we're doing this thing, I don't really understand it, but that's making me kind of relaxed. And then you bring a tool in that's totally not connected to any of the conversations you've just had, then you're going to get a surprise. And then you know you have to go back a little bit to the awareness, being this far away, and you start to pick up the bag and your horse starts to be a little bit nervous. You can put it down and even put it away and then say, okay, you need to move this front leg, to get relaxed. I'm going to pick it up again, and now what should your body do? He leans towards you, you put it away again, and you start to build the answers and the things he should do in order to be confident. But the beginning part's the most important part. That allows you right away. That's sometimes where it looks simple, and some owners sort of go, oh my God, he's waving a flag around my horse, and I couldn't, the bird farted 5 kilometers away and he runs away normally, and now he's waving a flag over my horse's head. But it's because of the importance of the beginning, of the awareness, and the meaningfulness of the pattern. Not just going through it, but what does it mean to the horse? Does he really feel it on the inside of his body? And start to trust that that pattern is now useful. That if you pick something up, he's like, oh, I know how to tune in with myself, and I know that this pattern gave me a feeling of stability and control. And you'll see that horses take that on right away. They experience something and say, I'm going to use that thing I just learnt 2 seconds ago. And you can say, yeah, that was a good decision.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you, Faith, for the nice Q&A questions. Thank you for tuning in for our first edition for 2025 Summer Nights. I hope you found this case interesting. Thanks again to Bruno and for following in these somewhat weird steps sometimes. But I'm sure this pair will do very well in the future, so continue to watch this space. Hopefully you found something interesting to use or think about for your own horse, and until then, be good to your horses. We'll see you next time.
Ew.